What's up, everybody? We got to get into this market starting to break out a little bit. Is it going to continue to the upside? I just jumped into a trade. Share that here on the live stream. Also posted it in the Signals Lab group in the Scalp channel. But what's going on with this market? It's about to get really exciting. Everybody get this pumped out. Retweet it to your friends and family. Let's get this going. We're going to get some music going here in just a moment. But as we prepare for the absolute rippage that's coming to this market, let's all just find some gratitude, find some appreciation, share some love. And remember, we are in this to change our lives, to change our friends and families' lives, to have more free time to do the things that matter to us. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in with the tunes. Let's get this retweeted out. Let's make sure that we are having a great day and our portfolios are doing exactly what they need to. Sometimes you got to sit on your hands, but right now, let's talk about it.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish shelter. It's not our fault. Blame the cult. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pump, altcoin, pump.
we are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't
flight
nobody
to
tell me
quality.
nothing. Bitcoin, pump.
We are hearing from clients around the world.
Prepared for this.
It's time, everybody. The market's starting to wake up. We've been consolidating. Is today the day that we break out and move up above 93, above 94? Are we going to make the run towards 100,000? What are we doing here? Everybody get active in the live chat. Roll call. Who's here? Who's alive? Where are you at? What are you doing? Is your portfolio in the green? Because it should be. If it's not, you're doing something very wrong. Let's dive into this, everybody. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. If this is your first time here, I don't know where you've been, but I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last time here. How you doing? My name's Kelly Kellum, and I'm here to break down the markets for you, give you meaningful tools, content, resources, and of course, this incredible community that all of you are a part of. So no matter where you are at, no matter what you are doing, even if you're laying in bed, snuggled up to a hairless cat, but you got the phone open, I'm here to bring the markets to you and also sort of wake you up on the inside. Make sure that you are alive. Make sure you're engaging with the best part, the best opportunity that we've ever had for our future. Because when we look at what's happening in this market, we see that the price action is consolidating in a bullish structure here with a rising level of support, bit of a flat level of resistance here. Is this signaling that the next move is up here to $103,000? But most importantly, how you doing? How you feeling? Are you are you starting your day with a little bit of gratitude? We all have rough days, rough nights, rough things in our life. Remember, guys, I broke 22 bones. I've had 80 plus surgeries. And I find that as being one of the most impactful, meaningful things that's ever happened to me in my life. It gave me a springboard to appreciate life. It gave me a springboard to open my heart. It gave me a springboard to realize that we have to take the opportunities where they lie, not say, but what if this happens like it did last time? No, we're going to engage in everything in our life with a new, fresh lens on what it is, whether it's people, whether it's relationships, whether it's the market. We are going to learn from everything that happens in our life and give the benefit of everything that enters our life freedom of it being its own thing for us to develop into whatever it is we want. So when we're looking at these markets, when we realize that we've lost trades in the past, when we realize we feel like every time we buy, the price goes down, and every time we sell, the price goes up, there's something you're doing wrong. Same thing in relationships. If every time this happens, it's not them, it's right here. It's all inside of us. So we have to make sure, that's why I do this channel, is to make sure that I can help you not step into the same potholes that I've stepped in. We're going to do this together because these markets are heating up, and we see that the price action, the total market cap here is now over $3 trillion. And some people still think there's no value in crypto. What are you talking about? We see, oh my God, I mean, some of the news that's been coming out since January 11th, when the Bitcoin spot ETFs launched, it has just been an onslaught of never-ending dominoes falling in favor of the bulls. And some people are wondering right now, are we at a market cycle top? I guarantee you we're not. I don't guarantee many things, but seeing the bullish fundamentals that have evolved into this space and the acceptance of not only the governments now fighting towards getting Bitcoin strategic reserves, seeing states here in the U.S. now, I think there's over 10 now, Dennis Porter had posted, over 10 different states have legislation in the works to have their own state strategic Bitcoin reserves. And people are wondering right now, is a market cycle topping? Could it be? Well, let's talk about it. Let's dive in. We've got a couple hundred people in the room right now. We're going to have a couple hundred more pop in here in the matter of the next few minutes. So you're all here first. So roll call. If you are here, if you are alive, if you are participating in these markets and participating in the engagement on this channel, I want to see you post something in the live chat. I want to see, if you're on Twitter, also post something. And just reminder, we do giveaways every week. And we have to actually I think we'll do another giveaway specifically today, because Shake and Bake is the one that won yesterday. And he said, hey, we've got, me and Tater have so many damn cold storage wallets. Go ahead and pay that forward. So I'm going to send them something else. We'll do another giveaway today. And all you have to do to participate in that is head over to, where am I at? All you have to do is to head over to my page over here at Kelly Kellum or at Academy BitLab. And right here, hit that retweet button, hit this like button. And I want to see two numbers today. Actually, you know what? We'll use the same numbers from yesterday. We have 8 and 33. So we'll use that to pick a random person today. We will do another giveaway today. And remember, we're doing it today on today's specific video. So get active, hit that retweet button, hit that like button. Check out the links to our various partners that we have right in here. It's not only going to be a great benefit for you to utilize any of these utilities, but also it's a great way to help the channel out as well. So big love to every one of you. Now let's dive into what we want to talk about today. This is very important. Everybody's wondering earlier today why the market took a little bit of a spill initially, and then obviously is now pushed back up. It looks like it's on the precipice of breaking out. And it's official. It says, for the first time in history, Ukraine just used long-range U.S. missiles to strike inside Russian territory. There is some geopolitical tensions, as we all have been aware of over the last couple years, actually, since the war in Ukraine started about February, what was that, 2021, 2022? I think it was 2022. But this seems like it's escalating further and further. And that does bear in mind a little bit of a sort of risk-off mentality with markets, meaning capital doesn't flow as freely into investments because people start getting wary. Should they protect themselves? Should they hedge their positions? However, we're also at the same time at this crux of a situation, this intersection of this fear of risk-off because of geopolitical tensions, while we're also getting the most bullish setup in the history of the crypto market, especially with the new president-elect administration coming in that is so pro-crypto, that is so, I mean, the setup we have right now is incredible when you're looking at this from an investor standpoint, with a little bit of this fear of what's happening with the geopolitical tension. So just mind that. I think we got stopped out of the trade that we were in right here. So we're going to look for another opportunity to jump in. I had a very tight stop loss that was in profit. I think I might have lost like $6 on the funding fee or whatever. But then let's look at these dominoes. We're going to be diving in here in just a moment to some TA, because we do have some setups that could spell a little bit of a pullback for some of those favorite altcoins that you're looking at. Are there setups that are going to present great opportunities? We're going to be diving into that in just a few minutes. And I just want to say, thank you for being here. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Make sure you engage with this content if you like it. If not, I hope I can make you like it. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding the bell. Now let's dive in. Mara Holdings. Remember, we've been seeing these dominoes just falling in favor of the bulls nonstop. Mara Holdings, which is a mining company, to raise $1 billion at 0% interest to buy more Bitcoin after, remember yesterday we covered this story, they had an offer of $750 million that was oversubscribed, meaning people were saying, I want in on that. So the amount of appetite for this, and this, by the way, is the MicroStrategy playbook. They have set a new paradigm for not only crypto companies, but institutions alike globally. There's a MicroStrategy playbook now of getting Bitcoin as a part of your treasury, and the more aggressive you can be on the earlier time basis, basically front running these nation states that are going to be racing to stockpile Bitcoin. We're seeing this start playing out and more and more companies. And now, of course, why wouldn't a miner do this as well? We're seeing this, just the number of bullish things that are happening right now is incredible. And that's why when we look at our altcoin portfolio that I've been stacking with you, I've been showing you everything that I've been doing, especially in the BitLab Discord, also in the Signals Lab, and also here on the live streams, basically stacking into these different positions. Remember, these are positions that we've been holding. We're not trading this. I wanted to outline and show that you don't have to trade every move in the market. You can pick some horses in the race and figure out how, basically we were strategically buying these back in February. And I wanted to show you, even if you have a dip, you can still buy and lower your average entry. And so some of these were very in the red for a little bit. Now they're, very in the green, up 45%, up 17%, up 48%, up 52%, up 62%, up 57%. Oh my God, down 2%, up 48%, up 54%. So this, I'm expecting this altcoin portfolio that we've been stacking into, I'm expecting this on the conservative side to be somewhere in the $400,000 to $600,000 range when we're taking profits, and likely potentially even beyond that. But we are going to make sure we take profits this cycle. We are going to make sure that we do not round trip these prices to where you're taking screenshots and you're so excited because there's so much money, only to be so greedy that you don't take profits and the market pulls back and you end up round tripping from having basically your entry and going up, you not having the balls to pull money out of the market and having it go all the way back down to the price that you ended up entering on. No, we are going to make so much money in this market and we are going to do it together. That's what we're doing together here. We are making sure that we don't fuck this up. And I got to use that word right now because this is what's at play right now. You have an opportunity that nearly no generation of humanity has ever had in terms of the speed and velocity and the likelihood to make life-changing money if you just practice a few key strategies and make sure that you are locked in, that you are focused on what's happening here. Shout out to Corey Wrights. Special shout out to him. Remember that song that plays at the very beginning of this stream? That is his track. He sent it to me in he just shared it with me on Twitter one day. I said, yo, bro, we're using that as our opening track here on BitLab. He said, absolutely, let's do it. So everybody throw a one in chat for Corey Wrights showing some love there. Now let's get back to the data at hand. Let's talk about what we got to talk about, baby. So this is what's going on. Why is Saylor ramping up his Bitcoin buys? This is very important. Remember, yes, we have 200,000 Bitcoin that are more likely than not going to be purchased every year for 5 years by the U.S. government, kickstarting that Bitcoin's arms race, that stockpile race for different nation states. But also we have the 16 billion that's getting redistributed to FTX creditors in about 2 weeks. That's going to the lion's share of that's going to be deployed back into buying crypto assets. In addition to that, we have the 42 billion that Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, said that they are going to be buying $42 billion worth of Bitcoin. They've already bought about, I think, $6 or $7 billion in the last week and a half. That feels like it's a little bit faster paced than they talked about over 3 years. Well, let's talk about it. Why do I predict he's going to blow his whole $42 billion load before the end of the 2025? This doesn't mean he's going to blow it. This means he's going to get that $42 billion deployed into Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin. By the end of 2025, that would be basically 1 year to do that. Will that happen? Well, let's see. It's not aeronautical or astrological engineering, Saylor joke. He simply wants to front run nation states. And he knows his window is closing fast. And this is going to be anybody that starts to dive in and understand this, especially corporations, especially institutions, especially asset managers. And I hope, most importantly, I hope you feel this way and understand this too. We are racing to beat the flood. We want to make sure that we are not behind these multi-hundred thousand Bitcoin purchases that are going to be coming in from nation states, because the price is going to be, it's going to run away from you. And Michael Saylor understands this. He started stacking 4 years ago. He's laughed at, and I got a great video we're going to share in a second, but expect back to back Saylor announcements throughout from now going into 2025. Do you agree or disagree? Do you think, I want to know everybody here right now, put a Y or an N, a yes or a no. Do you think Michael Saylor is going to have the 42 billion actually by over 3 years? Or do you think he's going to have at least 80% or more of that deployed into the market by the end of 2025? Let me know what you're thinking. Let's see where you guys are at now. But let's actually listen to what he's got to say, because this is, he is the GOAT of GOATs. Let me make sure the audio works here.
When we bought,
okay, there we go. So let's just take a second here and give just praise to the guy that changed the paradigm for what it means to step into the future and not only stay relevant, but be dominant. This is what he says.
when we bought Bitcoin, we bought 250 million. No public company had ever bought any. People thought we were crazy. So then we bought another 175 million. People thought we were crazy. Then we bought 600 million more. People said, you can't stand on it. It'll destroy you. It's like standing on a bridge made of steel. And I concluded, it's the perfect engineered material to solve our problem, but people are living in fear. And how are we going to get them to not be fearful? And I was reminded of Andrew Carnegie's example. It's like, build the bridge, go stand out in the middle of the bridge. You build an airplane, fly the airplane. Show people that it's not going to break. That's what MicroStrategy did. We said, well, if it's good for 100 million, it's good for $1 billion. If it's good for $1 billion, we might as well go for 4 billion. Right? And at some point, people will realize that they have more to fear by not embracing this technology than by embracing it.
Do you all realize, I don't know how long you all have been around, do you all realize when Michael Saylor took the leap 4 years ago and made his first Bitcoin purchase, he did it very quickly with nearly their entire cash treasury. They had about $500 million in their cash treasury. He deployed all of it. He didn't say, I'm going to get some. No, all. And very quickly raised money, bought more. And he's been doing this persistently over and over and over again for the last 4 years. That first year, he was the laughing stock of Wall Street. He was, I think, when he stepped down as CEO now, he's he's still the majority owner of MicroStrategy, but he's obviously now championing the whole Bitcoin strategy. It's still very much affiliated with MicroStrategy, but I believe he was the longest running CEO on Wall Street. And yet when he made this decision, Bitcoin 4 years ago was still at the place in the headspace, in the zeitgeist of financial advisors, of just people in general, that, no, that's some stupid internet money. And he saw it. He understood the technology. He understood where this was going. He understood the Ponzi scheme that is the US dollar. Remember, the US dollar is not backed by anything. The only thing the US dollar or anything, the Venezuelan bolivar, the Turkish lira, any fiat system that's out there is a Ponzi scheme. They print. It took 221 years to print 12 trillion, basically to have $12 trillion of the US dollars. In the last 4 years, we've printed $12 trillion. You know how that devalues every second that you work. When they print money, you might think it's good. Oh, it helps keep the economy going. Great, sure, whatever. You are devaluing the time somebody spent to trade their time for effort, right? For money. You're trading your energy for money, but now when they print more money, you're devaluing how much work that you put in. Now you have to put in more work to get the same money. So if you work your whole life and you have $100,000 saved, or $1 million, or 1,000, doesn't matter what the number is. In the last about 7 to 12 years, you've already devalued that money by about 35%, 40%, meaning your dollar has that much less buying power, devaluing the energy that you spent to buy. So when he deployed over $500 million and then raised more money, he was the laughing stock of Wall Street. And now every institution out there that is looking forward is saying, what the fuck are we going to do to make sure that we don't get printed into oblivion, so that we can at least keep up with the paradigm? And with Bitcoin, you actually get to move ahead. Remember this. Think about this. Share this talking point with your friends and family. In 2016, the average family home in the US was about $280,000. If priced in Bitcoin in 2016, a house would have been about 664 Bitcoin. Now, 2024, the average family home is about $480,000. If priced in Bitcoin, a house is only about, it was 6 about 2 months ago. It's probably about 4.5 Bitcoin now. The cost of life, the cost of living has gone down over 90% if priced in Bitcoin. So then why the hell would any of us have any desire whatsoever to participate in saving money in a system that's going to have less value in the future? The only opportunity looking forward right now is participating in Bitcoin. And we are on the precipice of greatness because of this. And Michael Saylor understood this. And although he was laughed off of Wall Street initially, now every institution and corporation out there is asking, what is our Bitcoin strategy? And it's because of this very reason. Now let's dive into here. We got to drop some knowledge bombs here sometimes. We got to remember what we are doing this for and why we're doing it. It's not just to make money. We're also trying to just not get completely devalued into oblivion. So let's dive back in here. We got some things we got to look at. Now, after that, then you have now the biggest asset manager in the history of the world, BlackRock, with over $11.5 trillion in assets under management, one of the best performing ETF in the history of any asset ever, not just crypto, of any asset ever. The BlackRock Bitcoin Spot ETF, which launched January 11th. Now, remember, about 3 years ago, they were talking. Larry Fink was talking about how Bitcoin was an index for money laundering. And now look at what their people are saying about Bitcoin. Is it a risk asset? Is it worth it? Let's see what they have to say.
When you're engaged in that kind of education, what do you say? What is the role?
Yeah, well, we think that there's been a kind of misconception that's frankly been perpetuated by a lot of crypto research and other publications characterizing Bitcoin as a risk-on asset. Bitcoin is very clearly a risky asset, right? It's volatile, it's relatively new and unproven still. For a long time, it's faced regulatory uncertainty, but that's a different concept from being risk on, which implies that you're supposed to correlate and go up and down with equities. Fundamentally, the risks and return drivers of Bitcoin are very different from what they are of equities and most other so-called risk on assets. And understanding that distinction is absolutely critical for most institutional investors and for wealth advisors, because it totally changes the role that it can play in a portfolio. If it is uncorrelated, which fundamentally kind of suggests it is, that's where you get this potential for it as a diversifier and even as a potential hedge against some of the macro risks that exist, some of the U.S. fiscal sustainability concerns around the world, fears of inflation, monetary debasement, et cetera.
Bitcoin is not a risk asset. It is currently still trading in some regard in correlation to the S&P 500 and the stock market risk assets. Yes, that's because the majority of people do not understand that this is an insurance. It literally is an insurance and an expansion on your future. Currently, because we're still in that we're at the kind of last rungs of the early adopter stage, it's still people get excited on the speculation. It goes down, they sell, and then smart money buys at the bottom. All of us jackasses, we get scared at the bottom, so we don't buy until it starts pumping up, and then we're like, oh, dude, am I missing it? And then you buy. No. This is not the risk asset. The risk here is if you don't hold this asset. So we need to get our mind on that. And by the way, everybody, welcome to everybody that just piled in here. We got 464 people in the room. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We are doing a giveaway today on today's stream. All you have to do to participate is head over to my page here at Kelly Kellum or at Academy BitLab. On this, I'll actually share this in the live chat here. Go there, hit that retweet, hit that like button right here. Retweet, hit the like button. We will be drawing from this one today, doing a giveaway because our lovely friend here, Shake and Bake, basically wanted to pay his win yesterday forward. So we're going to get that out to you guys. Now, let's go through this because we want to dive in. We want to look at some technical analysis. We want to look at some levels, but we got 2 or 3 more things, and now we're going to dive into it right here. Bitcoin is mirroring the behavior of the last 2 bull cycles. After surpassing its previous all-time high, Bitcoin has been consolidating for a week. If history repeats, we could see another breakout in the next day or two, targeting $150,000, followed, remember, by a correction, because this is what you do. You stair step on the way up. And look at where we're at right here. Let me take my face off here because take my ugly mug off so you guys can see what is going on right here. This is where we're at. I mean, look, we are tracking this perfectly based on where we're at, looking at the last 2 cycles in this market. If this is to continue, we've got a pretty big move to go to the upside. And when we look at this on the very near-term targets, we have the initial target right here, and I'm being very conservative on this. Let me put my face back on. I'm being very conservative on this. I'm measuring essentially the width of this basically ascending triangle rather than just being the Super Bowl here, measuring this whole flagpole, which you can also do. Let's go. Oops. Let me delete that, move this. There we go. Option T, give a trend line. Boom. Everybody wants to do this and go, okay, let's look at the target. It's so bullish all the way up here. Look at that. It's $131,000. But let's take this step by step. Next target, if we do break out, I'm looking at one, we have to see what happens at $100,000. Do we get a big sell pressure, or does the biggest marketing event in the history of Bitcoin that happens once we break $100,000, which is every mainstream news media organization in the world, as well as social media as well, this is going to be plastered on every form of media ever when we break past $100,000. So does that bring in the FOMO and the retail, those hype cycle buyers, which I hope none of you are, meaning you're buying once, oh, okay, it's broken past all-time high, now I'll buy. What are you doing? You buy. I'm not saying you can't still buy here, but if you buy here, you need to have the conviction to hold. Buying, let's get on the 12-hour. Buying, down here or all the way in this area right here. Even if you waited on the breakout, the retest right here on this would have been the best risk-adjusted buy, where you had a bottom set and you have the trend shift of, see, everything is just lower low, lower low, lower high, lower high. All of a sudden, look, higher high, first higher high, followed by the first higher low. This is the establishment, the start of the bull trend. This was the best risk-adjusted spot to really buy. Over here is going to be great too. You just have to have conviction. The problem with hype cycle buyers, meaning once price is breaking out and now you buy, the problem with those type of people, they're also very, 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 very susceptible to buying and selling, buying hope and selling fear. You want to buy fear and sell hope. Okay, so where we're at right now, do we want to hop in on this trade? I mean, we'll see if this breaks past this zone right here. We are going to jump into a trade. Look at this, got a little bit of a cup and handle here on the small time frame. This is very small time frame. This is 1 minute. So let's see if we get that. Well, maybe we'll jump into a trade together. But we are on track to have a major push here in a second. And shout out to everybody that's in the room here. We got about 540 people tuned in. Big love to each and every one of you. But let's go ahead and continue on. We do have some concern here. Long-term holders are currently in an active distribution phase, meaning they're selling. There's some long-term holders selling right now. Why? Because we're pushing into that price discovery area. They're selling into the strength of the trend. They're selling your hope. And if you're buying this FOMO, then you're buying from somebody that's taking profits, most likely from buying much lower. So we do have some sort of hesitation here, but does this mean the market's going to break down? Well, when you look at the USDT, the Tether, net flow has just hit over 1.8 billion. Inflow of stable coins, meaning people have some stable coins in their wallets, okay? Inflow of stable coins onto exchange. This means, hey, I got some stable coins. Why are you going to move stable coins onto exchange? Other than the very high likelihood that you are preparing to purchase crypto. So this brings a high amount of purchasing power, which could drive demand for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Look at this massive spike we're seeing right here. The preparation is here. The question is, what are you doing about it? Now, before we dive into the TA, I want to see everybody in the room drop in 2 altcoins that you want to look at today. We'll see if we see a bunch of the same ones. We will look at the TA on those. Excuse me. Now, I do want to say, make sure, channel partners here, NordVPN, make sure you are protecting yourself from identity theft, from your bank accounts getting hacked, from crypto getting stolen. You could set wherever you need to be from. If you want to be in Lithuania or Brazil or Mexico, wherever you want to set your IP destination from, and also protect yourself, head over to nordvpn.com/BitLab. Again, that's nordvpn.com/BitLab. And you also get 4 months extra for free. This is super affordable. It's like $2 or $3 a month, I believe. And you get 4 months free if you sign up with us, and you're also helping out the channel, helping us keep the lights on. So big love to each and every one of you for that. Now, global liquidity is still a little bit on a downtick. However, I do think this is about to have a fierce move to the upside in the very near future. We already saw China, it was doing $1.4 billion. Is it 1.4 billion? 1.4. Yeah, I believe it's a huge number. It's either 1.4 billion or trillion. I believe. I don't know. Huge amount of money in People's Bank of China that is about getting printed. The U.S. right now is very likely, what do? The only thing we can do with fiat systems is kick the can down the road, which means print more money. So with that being said, when that money gets printed, that is more fuel for the fire. We can see here, if we look at the global liquidity year over year change. I don't know why that always resets when I click on it, but here we go. Looking at the year over year change, this right here shows you this sharp uptick right here. This is the speed at which new money is getting printed as opposed to what was happening the previous year. So you see this large uptick, and what is this doing? This is front running this large move. What do we see right here? This is a pulling back, and the price is still kind of melting up. But look, right here is when the paradigm shifts and the global liquidity has an explosion higher. Look at this, melt to the upside. Okay, so what we want to watch for here is when this starts to push to the upside, because that's going to spell likely very strong bullish behavior in the market. Not to mention where we're at. We just talked about it a second ago, but if we look at this from cycle bottoms, we see on this pink line right here, we are perfectly on track for this, continuation of this next leg up. So what does it mean for price action? I mean, just look at the beauty. Look at the beauty of this. And some people are frustrated right now going, why isn't Bitcoin moving? And I'm like, what? Are your eyes broken? Do you have the inability to see? You're watching right now on YouTube. So can you not see what I'm seeing? This is November 5th, the election date. Boom. From this date to where we're at right now, let's take it to the exact date. We are up over 38%. In the matter of, let's measure it out, in the matter of from here to where we're at right now, that is 14 days, we have pumped 38%, which is $25,000. Let it chill out. Let it catch its breath. Let it refuel its engines so it can make that next push up. We do not want this just to be up only. We want the push up consolidation. The push up consolidation. And look at this one. Look, this pretty nice move. Pretty, relatively small consolidation. Bigger move, bigger consolidation. Is this fueling up for another $25,000 move in a 14-day period? Well, we're going to have to see how this cookie crumble. But this is what I'm looking at. As bullish as we are, I'm still cautiously aware that we could get a washout that comes down to $84,000 range. We could get a washout even that comes down to 79. Do I think this is highly likely? It's getting less and less likely by the day, but we have to pay attention to targets that are below us, because when you understand that we still have a CME futures gap, that's Bitstamp. Yeah, right. We still have this massive CME futures gap. And what was that other number? That lower target that seems like it could not happen, 79,000, is directly in the middle of this massive CME futures gap. These tend to get filled, meaning the price action tends to come down, potentially fill that and springboard to the upside. I'm feeling less likely that this is going to happen. I think this is going to be more of a trap setup in that if we do get a move to the downside, the price action will likely come and not quite clear that and then move. However, this is looking more and more like it just wants to run away to the upside. So let's stay prepared for what's going on. So let's get down here to the smaller time frames, and now we're going to do some TA on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of your alts. I do see some of the coins that you guys have listed in here. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Again, I want to shout out every single one of you. Participate in the giveaway. All you have to do is head over here to, let me copy this. I'll post it in the live chat again. If you're watching on Twitter, all you have to do is, if you're watching right here, we got 258 on Twitter watching. Come down here, hit this retweet, hit that like button. We're going to draw a random person from this one today. We're not going to pick a random day from all of you that are here today. If you're watching on YouTube, head over here to that link I just posted there in the live chat, and hit that retweet, hit that like button. We will do a giveaway today for all of you fine mother suckers. Now, diving back in here, let's look at what we are looking at. Where are we at? Price action. Look at this rising level of support, flat level of resistance here coming up. It's just knocking on heaven's door. And we want to see what happens here. Do beware. You saw we have a deviation here that didn't break out. Do beware that this might have a deviation that comes up and then does something like this. That is very possible, which will wash out a lot of people. In fact, we already saw this play out here. Push up. Okay, no, we're going back down. Okay, let's, everybody's short. No, let's go back up. No, we're going down. No, we're going up. This is just chopping the money out of the impatient. Now, what I'd really like to happen, and I think all of you would too, is for this price action to push up, have a bit of a pullback, bounce here, confirm the move, meaning you break previous resistance, come back, confirm this as support, and then make the move. Now, will that happen? We're going to have to see. This very well could also just push up, chop, and then continue like that. But we were waiting with bated breath here. Look at this. It's trying. It's not quite through there. We're going to enter a trade if this breaks through here, and I'm going to do it with a very tight stop loss. Guys, I've been sharing these trades, and there's about 7 or 8 other professional traders in our Signals Lab group that shares these trades on a daily basis. All you got to do, it's free. All you have to do to participate in that is come down here right below the video. You see join our free traders group right here. Just click on that link. It'll take you into a Telegram and access thing. It shows you signing up through that our CoinW link and get involved. We got giveaways that we do in there. You get there's free trades. We have a whole academy, basically a beginner's academy, breaking down a bunch of stuff that's going to be in there as well. And you just sign up with that right there. And are we going to get into this trade? I mean, it's looking like it. Let's look on the small time frame. RSI here above the 50 line. Look, starting to get stronger. The MACD angled to the upside. It's starting to break. I'm going to go ahead and just enter this long. Boom. It's about a $15,000 position. Let's see. Yeah, it's 15,100, and I'm going to put a stop loss. This is how you do it. See, you can do it on here, but I like to set the trade. Look at that. We're catching the breakout. Set the stop. Well, hold on. I got to look at the price action. It is right. I'm going to put the stop loss 92,583. So click here, TPSL, 92,583. Boom. That would be about a $25 loss. I can handle a $25 loss. So now we're in profit. If this starts pushing up, which it's starting to, but I want to give it some breathing room. If this starts pushing up, I'm going to drag this and move this up into profit. So no matter what happens, we will not lose money on that trade. So currently we're up about 4%. Let's see if this gets some legs, because there is a lot of just excitement in this market for this to push higher. Because of that excitement, you have to realize there is such a real potential for trap scenarios to happen in this market. Meaning it gets people excited by breaking out, and then it just sucks back and it makes you capitulate because it pulled back and then it launches. There's going to be some chop suey happening in this market. So do not mess this up. You know, we got a pretty large, this is more than I would recommend for anybody. I'm doing 40X on this, but this is about a $400 trade. It's relatively insignificant for my portfolio. So I'm doing higher leverage. If I had a higher trade amount, let's say $5,000, I would do it somewhere in the 3 to 6X range. But we're doing very aggressive on a small amount. So even with $400, because I'm 40X, we're trading $15,000 here. Now, if this starts to move, we can make some real money with not risking a lot on the table. And we're also practicing healthy risk management by making sure you get a stop loss in the second you set a trade, because these markets, you guys, as exciting as this can very, in one candle, just dump like this. Something happens geopolitically, something happens with the comment from the president, something happens. These markets can shift at a moment's notice. So this is, come on, baby, just don't. He's starting to give little trick signs. So let's see, double click. So see the stochastics getting a little overheated, RSI getting a little overheated. What are we looking like on the 30-minute? Okay, we still got some room there. Let's look at the 1 hour. Are we going to break past 93? Let's go. Let's go. Let's make some money, baby. Now I'm going to put this into profit just because it'd be stupid to lose any money on a trade that is up. So I just hope we don't just get a little washout with it. Because look at this. This looks like it's trying to potentially reverse, because we do have to watch this sort of breakout. You do want to watch for something where the price action does come back, retest this, and goes like this. So let's look at the... All right. Well, let's get back. We'll check on this in a sec. Come on, let's make some money, baby. Let's go. We're getting in that exciting part of the market where the trading is going to be a lot more active, because you have a defined trend, an uptrend, that you buy the dips and you sell the rips. We're not in that 7-month sideways consolidation anymore. So let's go. I mean, just come on, baby. Don't reverse on me. Don't reverse on me now. Well, we got our trade in, so now we can continue on. We got our stop loss there. Yeah, we want to see this rip, but let's look at some other coins here. Avalanche, I want the market to rip, but if we're looking just at this chart on Avalanche, this is looking a little bit like a M formation. These M formations, double top formation, boom, 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 boom. If this starts to break down, we do have the benefit of this large support line that's coming up here. We can actually extend that out just a little bit. We do have the benefit. If this does find support in this region, great. But if this loses, I do think that we're going to come back down. I do think if we lose this, I do think we're going to come down and test back here into the 25 range. But if the market starts ripping, then all these things, all these paradigms kind of go out the window. Potential bearish setup on that's a 12-hour. Potential bearish setup might very quickly just reverse and start ripping to the upside. This is why we've been stacking. Because look at this, even on this very small time frame, shoulder, head, shoulder. On this case, I would suggest on the very near future, barring Bitcoin doesn't just break out $10,000 candle, that this will likely have a move like this. Measure that out. Have it. Look at this. The measure move comes down basically to test these lows right here. So we might get an opportunity on Avalanche to come down a little bit. Similarly with Tau. Tau has a setup. Look at this, shoulder, head, shoulder. Is this going to be a fake out or a trap scenario? Because in this case, this is suggesting the measured move. This is suggesting, and I don't think this is going to play out. This is suggesting a breakdown here to $384. I personally don't think that that's going to happen. I cannot ignore the fact that the chart is outlining that is a possibility. And in fact, if you look at where this target goes down to, let's extend this out a bit. Boom. So it would be above that. Let's look at this, extend this out. So this tells me this would be right back into the middle of this channel. However, we have this, this trend that goes all the way back to October 13th. If this does break down, I would ultimately think that this would be probably as deep as it would go. However, I'm thinking more so that this is likely going to be a bit of a trap to the downside, connect, and then continue like that. But let's see. So we got stopped out on this trade. See there. Got stopped out. Okay, which means we were stopped out just above our entry price, so we didn't lose money there. But if this bounces here and starts pushing up, I'm going to look at the indicators because this looks like it may be testing. If this does bounce, then we may get back in right here. But no, this is okay. So you see, this is why you got to be patient. Take the moves, but be willing to be chopped out. And look at this. We do actually have a bit of a rise. Is this a rising wedge? It's a rising channel. Sorry. Rising channel here. These tend to potentially break bearish, but we're still just right in the middle of this channel. God, this market, everybody wants us to rip so bad. It's just not letting it rip. Okay, let's get back over here. Tau, still super bullish on it. In the short time frame, it does look like it wants to do its work to shake some people out. Render making some moves. Oops. Render making some moves. Nice. Look at bull flag, breakout. Bull pin it, breakout. And look, we got above this rising level of resistance. We've broken through it now, came back, tested it. This is at SR flip, support resistance flip, breakthrough, find test, find support. Now it's breaking past this high. We do have this other trend line though that comes through here from these tops, these bottoms, these tops. And this is what we're going to watch here in the 852 sort of range. If we can clear that, then I do think it's going to start to be nice movement to the upside. Now you see this is starting to do that. This is starting to look like a test. But you know what? I mean, it feels like it's just playing games with us, trying to shake us in and out of trades, excitement and then hope and fear. I want a little bit more. I want that good stuff, you know. Injective, also like we saw on Avalanche, the push up sort of in formation, looking weak here. This does signal we might get another move back down into this range, $22. Which would be, I think, a great opportunity. Cardano, push up, little bull flag, push up, kind of a bull flag, kind of push up, kind of a bull flag here. And we are right at this level trying to get through that 79-80 cent range, which if we zoom back onto the chart, this is where this pretty major top was right here, this range top back here, March 13th, where we had the sort of the mid bull cycle top before we had the 7-month consolidation. And look at this. Bled, shook a lot of people out. Now back up right to where we were at that sort of cycle high back at March 13th of this year. But look at this. It's starting to bull flag. It wouldn't shock me here if Cardano had a little bit of a pullback kind of into this 63, 62, 60 to 63 cent range, testing these range highs sort of zones right in here. But if this is able to push up beyond 79, 80 cents, I would like to watch this have some sort of pullback, bulls defend, and then have that continuation. Look at this pretty big bearish divergence on the momentum waves. You can see right here, very high, not so high at all, but we also have higher prices showing that there's a little bit of weakness that came in here. And what do we see? We see the price action consolidating for a moment there. That's on the 8-hour. What does it look like on the smaller time frames? 24-minute. Let's zoom in here. Okay, the VWAP rejected. Now it's come back up. It's trying to push through this zero zone, this zero level right here. You see the 0% on the right over here? The zero zone. If this does roll over and push down, that does show the basically intention of the market to play a negative spread, meaning press down, come back to retest, press down. So let's just pay attention here. Everything is on a knife's edge, everybody. Solana looking good. It's 24-minute. This does look like it's a little bit of a rising channel here. I'm going to just draw this very crudely. So let's pay attention because these do regularly. Rising channels tend to break to the downside. However, when you start having a very, very bullish, momentous trend, then you might start seeing, instead of having bull flags with these are basically just flat sideways, you might start seeing push up, consolidate up, push up, consolidate up. So let's pay attention to what's going on here because look at this VWAP. Way down, coming very aggressively back to the zero line. Stochastics up. RSI looking a little weak here. So, I mean, what I think is going to play out here is this coming back like this, maybe a little move down that tricks people, comes back up, and then moves like this. Yeah, see, it tried. Look at this, man. Bitcoin markets, they do such a good job of making you think, oh, it's just a test. Oh, let's catch this before it runs away. Only to reverse. I bet this is around that golden pocket fib. And look at that. Breaks down, bounce up, right about that golden pocket, kind of split it right in here, and then broke back down. If we lose this, I do think It's not a big deal. If we lose this, I do think we're going to start exploring back down here to 92.5, potentially back here to about 92.2. But let's look at actually the liquidation levels on the market. We have this little node right above us, 90. Let's actually see this. I got to update this because the market moved. Look, it's trying to come up here and steal, basically grab this free liquidity. This is from people shorting. Why would you be shorting right now? Unless you're a very experienced trader, I'd be looking for dip buying opportunities or the breakout, the dip, and the launch. This is where price is pushing towards right here from people shorting. Free liquidity in the market. Look at that. 11 million, 19 million, 76 million, 100 million, 33 million. There's quite a bit of money right above us. If this can push through, this might create a short squeeze, meaning if you push up and you basically slice into these liquidation zones or where people will be forced to close their shorts. If you're forced to close a short, that means you are buying. That's what a short squeeze is. So if this pushes up into the zone, you're creating forced buying behavior that then can very quickly propel the market very quickly to the upside. This is why when you're looking at the price action, let's go to the 1 hour, for instance. When you're looking at the price action, there was liquidity that was right here before. I remember this zone. And once the price action pushed into this liquidity, then you get this very quick move because you have all this liquidity in the market that then is forced to buy. All these people that were shorting, oh, we have to close, and that's a forced buy. And then you get the FOMO that's on top of that. It goes, oh, it's going. And then everybody jumps in. So you have the short squeeze that creates this very propelling momentum in the market. And then you have the FOMO buying that immediately basically reinforces that. The question is going to be, when we get this and we look at this, is fighting to get through this zone, fighting to get through this zone. I do think that we're going to get that short squeeze. And the question is going to be, because $100,000 is such a psychological level in this market, if this does push up into that, we could face a pretty big sell wall of people taking profits because there's fear about, can this go higher? Is everybody else going to sell at 100? Is this going to go right up to 99,788, 99,922, 100,150, only to then just drop back to $75,000? That's a very real possibility. You remember Kevin Svensson came on here months ago now and talked about, this is when price was down. This is when price was down, I think in the 30s or 40s, talked about that move to $100,000 and a real possibility for us to have a 30% dip from there. What is 100 minus 30? That's 30%, right? 100 minus 30 is $70,000. The question I have for you and you and you and you and me, do you think we're going to do you think it's possible we get a 20 to 35% breakdown in the next month or so? Or do you think this is going to run away? It's anybody's guess. And it's up to you how you're stacking into what you're navigating in your portfolio. But let's look at some more coins here. I did see, scrolling back on some of the coins that you guys had listed here. I haven't done ICP in a while, so let's do ICP. And on that note, how many of you are ICP holders or traders? I'm very curious because it's kind of a niche. Some people hate it, some people love it, but I guess that's every crypto, let's be honest. Look at this. We drew this a month or two ago. Giant sort of symmetrical triangle here. We talked about the potential fake out and then the move. And look, we got the fake out and then the move up here. A little bit of sell off, and now we are trying to break out of this this goes all the way back to March. We're on the daily. Yeah, this goes back to March, and we're trying. Let's see. This is actually it right here. This point to this point, and you see, look, fake out to the downside. This is exactly what has played out. Look at this. The fake out to the downside, the breakout, the retest, and it's trying to launch here. It's just not ready yet because Bitcoin is being held up at this psychological level. Everybody's waiting for that risk on flare. All systems go. And look at the zone that we're in right now with ICP. We have this sort of boom, 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 boom. Once we clear this, the next level up, we can just make it very simple. Let's look at these tops. Look at that level. This is the important level. This one, a little headache, and this is where we're at. This is where we rejected. This is the start of the gate for ICP to start really moving. Why? Because you have this rejection here, back here in July. Then you have this bounce here in June. Then you have this bounce here in April. Then you have this bounce here March 18th. I mean, this goes on and on and on. We can just drag this over here. This goes all the way back. What is this date? All the way back to December 2023. Rejection, support, rejection. This is a gateway. Now, what does this look like if we come here and do a Fibonacci from the top to the bottom and look at that? So we have the 382 right here, which is perfectly, look at all this bouncing. This is that sort of zone that we need to pay attention to right in here. This rejection support zone, and then the 382 of this pretty medium mid-size move, which is basically 10 to 1150. This zone, once we break out of this, then the next really big contention place that we need to watch for is the golden pocket right here at 1523. What would be great, it'll be so exciting. Little chop. The move out of here is going to get everybody excited. Some people are going to buy here. It's going to likely reject. They're going to sell because they think it's over. And then it comes up and does the rest of that move. Now, Aerodrome trying to make some moves, but we are in a rising wedge here. I've been talking about this for a few days. Potential move to the downside here to 95 cents, which is, about a 30-cent move to the downside. If this can hold this and this just maintains bullish structure, then this sort of bullish initiative in the market, that we want to watch for our Aerodrome pushing up, taking out $1.48 to $1.55. And then we have to watch the top side of this range in this zone, this $1.75 sort of region before continuation. But as this looks a little weak. Bullish impulse back down, larger bullish impulse back down. We have a head and shoulders here that did not play out. So this is not a head and shoulders, but it is bearish structure. Now, like a potential reversal structure. Now, we did get the bounce, but now we're getting another smaller bounce, kind of a sideways head and shoulders. There's like an attempt from the bears that want to trick people into this coming down. But if this does move to the downside down here into the dollar range or anywhere below $1, I am a net buyer on Aerodrome for sure. This has been one of my best performers in that altcoin portfolio that we've been stacking since February. Now, what else we got? Proppy. Really strong move here. This is shortly after that announcements that they partnered with Coinbase, real world asset tokenization of real estate. Gary Cardone and likely Grant Cardone. I know Gary Cardone is now involved. Grant Cardone likely, they're twins. Grant Cardone is one of the biggest real estate developers in the US and investors. Is he going to get involved with Proppy? That would be major if he does. But look at this. Nice move up. Where'd it come down to? Boom. Shot right through, smaller market cap coin. So it came down to what Army Piper calls the platinum pocket, all the way down here to the 786, and then sucked right back in. Where? To the golden pocket. Now move up. Where to? 382. You can use these Fibonacci's and really get a good just general map about the likelihood of where price action will go. Bounce, trade in. DAG, guys. I was telling you about DAG. All the way as this was settling in, we had this bottom that was forming. We had the W formation. It came back, but look, we're starting to get higher lows. And now, massive bit of a moonshot here. Come on. Nice move there. Look at that. It's a 136% move. It's pulled back a little bit, and now it's only up 101%. And this is just the beginning. Let's zoom out on this. Look at how much higher it could go just to get to previous all-time highs. And remember, Constellation DAG, they're a partner with the U.S. Space Force, with the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense, U.S. Air Force. There's so much that Constellation DAG is doing, and they've only recently become more in the spotlight for retail and everybody, all of us normies out here. They've been working in the background, having these partnerships, actively utilizing their blockchain for the several years. This is something that I'm very bullish on going into this market. Let's also look at XRP making moves. I'm actually, some of my bearishness on XRP starting to shift a bit. This is starting to say, hey, maybe we're waking up. Maybe this will get that move up here to $1.85, the 2.618, which look at this. It's roughly right about this previous range top here. I think this is going to be doable. Are we going to get somewhere up here into the, The 3s, the 4s, I'm not really sure. It's going to depend on what happens with their IPO on the traditional side of Ripple. Does that take money away from the potential growth in XRP? Or does the crypto investor, speculator, trader, all of us people here in the Wild Wild West, do we give a crap about the IPO? Does it make any difference at all? We'll have to see how this plays out. But for those of you who've been holding on to XRP for some time, this is nice to see that it's getting some signs of life. Near Protocol, same thing we saw on, what was that? Injective? Was it Injective? No, it wasn't Injective. Was it Tau? It was, I don't remember what it was. It was one of the coins we looked at a few minutes ago. Near Protocol, getting the move to the downside, the fake out we talked about, now pushing back up, where right into this range that we've had outlined. And what is it doing? It's having a little bit of trouble here. Great. We expected it because of all these levels we had outlined. I can speak, I promise. But it is looking as it did look. Push up. It tested this several times. Nice move to the upside. It's consolidating here. This does give me a little concern that we might have a little bit of a test lower. But guys, everything is so bullish right now. Are you excited about where this is going? I know I am. But we got to do a giveaway. So I'm going to give you guys about a minute. Head over right here to this. We got 24. You got a good number of people in here today. Head over here. If you're watching on Twitter, scroll down and hit that retweet, hit that like button. If you're watching on YouTube, head over here to at Kelly Kellum. I just put that link in the live chat. It's this post right here. Hit that retweet, hit that like button. We're going to be drawing here in just a matter of seconds. I do want to shout out, guys, we pumped right through the previous all-time high, 74,000 so quickly. Some of you didn't get a chance. If I had shut down this deal that you see next to me right there, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. You see it flashing on the screen. lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. I extended this until we break $100,000 and then this deal is going away. But if you're in before this deal goes away, you get 15 days free. Basically, you get a half month. Hop in. We got an incredible Discord, nonstop charts, chart requests, member streams, so much there. And you get about 35% off for the life of your account. Even when this deal expires, you'll still get that discount for the life of your account. And you also have the ability to upgrade if you want. And we have 120 lessons, everything from on-chain data analysis to identifying cycle tops and bottoms and chart analysis, technical analysis, candles, candle patterns, indicators, psychology. There's so much in there. And with that, when you get that whole course package, you also get access to the indicators. So whether or not you just want to also upgrade and get the indicators, you get the courses. If you want to just get the courses, you get the indicators. Right there, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. If you want to get all that stuff, you basically sign up and then you upgrade on that secondary page. Now it's time to do the giveaway. Let's do it. We're using the numbers from yesterday since this is pushing forward yesterday's giveaway to today, since Shake and Bake wanted to pass this forward. Right now, the numbers were 8 and 33. So let's do 33 minus 8. We're using y'all's numbers and we're randomly figuring that out. What's 33 minus 8? It's going to be 25, right? We got 30 people. All right, so let's go ahead and count 25. Boom. Right here. View engagement. Quotes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Tony Zubiria. You won, my brother. You won today. You won. I'll get you right after this and get your address, and we'll get you all sorted out. Didn't mean to dox you there on there. I didn't see your address was there on the that deal, but big love to you. You won again. So maybe we'll connect and see if there's if you don't want the Arculus, maybe I already sent you one. We'll figure out something else that we can get out to you. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Keep your head about you right now. Don't get worried if we get a sell off. It's all part of the plan, man. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you all have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. Let's head over to the blockchain basement now. That's all I got. Adios. Adios, muchachos.